And a popular Venice business is supporting the fight against breast cancer. Tervis Tumbler is collaborating with the American Cancer Society to create exclusive artwork with the handprints of cancer patients and their families. The design is to represent the lives of people touched by cancer and the hands that they comfort. The art will be sold at Tervis. 10% of those sales will go towards the American Cancer Society. And still to come on your Suncoast News.
Can you say again the emergency for me, please?
What's with fumes, toxic gas type fumes?
A passenger plane forced to make an emergency landing after its crew members got sick on board. But first, the Cleveland Indians take the win for Game 1 of the World Series. How a few NBA players are getting in on the championship, we'll tell you coming up.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here. Because
why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch The Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
How long have we been married there?
For 76 years.
He was kind and generous to me before we married, and he was kind and generous to me all these years. We decided on Meals on Wheels because I was getting to the point where I couldn't do all the things that I had been able to do. We're the Spans. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
He got angry, cursed me out, wanted to hit. I got smacked in the face, because I didn't have dinner ready.
Domestic violence awareness. More than 100,000 incidents are reported each year in Florida alone. So when is it time to get help? And what resources are there? I'm Alan Cohn. We'll have that story plus our roundtable discussion.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. On air, online, and on your mobile device. This hurricane season, turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation. And everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts. And 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
Welcome back, everybody. NBA basketball is back, and the Orlando Magic intend to kick off their season on a bit of a solemn note. The team is planning to dedicate their home opener tonight to the 49 victims of the Pulse nightclub massacre. Tributes planned include a video highlighting the city's unity, a moment of silence, and also the honoring of first responders who went to the scene of the shooting on June 12th. The Magic will host survivors, family members, and Pulse employees. Also, they'll raise a 49 banner in the arena with the names of the victims who were killed that night. They'll be playing the Miami Heat in the game, and starts at 7 o'clock. It was a huge night for the Cleveland Indians. The Indians shut down the Cubs in the first game of the World Series. The Cubs haven't won the World Series since 1908. The Indians since 1948. ABC's Gio Benitez was at the game and has a recap of the game.
Corey Kluber leading the Cleveland Indians to a 6-0 shutout over the Chicago Cubs. The pitching ace making World Series history with 8 strikeouts by just the third inning. Cubs hitters one after another shaking their heads.
He's executing his pitches, he's relaxed, calm, and that's really allowing him to get the ball where he wants to.
There's a shot into left. And gone. Home run.
The Indians' offense led by an unusual suspect, Roberto Perez, the team's catcher. Perez hit only 3 home runs during the regular season. Well, last night, he hit 2 homers, bringing in 4 runs.
6-0.
For the Cubs, one bright note, the return of Kyle Schwarber, who had been out since April with a knee injury. He slammed a double, but it wasn't enough.
2-2. Indians win.
Even the Cleveland Cavaliers, playing their first game last night, got in on the act.
We struck him out. That's great.
The Cavs plan on attending tonight's game in support of their Cleveland brethren. LeBron even made a special bet with fellow basketball superstar Dwayne Wade.
Whoever team loses, the loser has to show up during the NBA season to the other guy's home game dressed as the team who won. If the Cleveland Indians win in January when we come to town, I'll walk in dressed just like Cleveland Indians.
Big night in Cleveland last night as LeBron and the Cavs got their championship rings on opening night, while the Indians were across town or nearby playing in that World Series game. Tonight's game has been moved up from 8:08 Eastern Time to 7:08 because they know that rain is coming and they want to try to get the game in. Also, check this out. Even the babies are getting into the World Series spirit. To celebrate the Indians going for the championship, the Cleveland Clinic is dressing all of their newborns in World Series onesies. The outfits feature a baseball design with the words World Series Baby and the hashtag Rally Together. The hospital says all the babies born throughout the World Series will wear the Indian onesies. Now let's get back to the kitchen where Chef Judy and her guest Matt are brewing up some spooky cocktails.
Okay, Matt, let's do our first spooky cocktail.
Perfect. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is the Bloody Goblin.
Okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to take 1 to 1.5 ounces of melon liqueur. And then we're going to take, you can actually use coconut water or aloe water.
So it's kind of healthy,
A
not
little.
just spooky.
A little bit. Cuts the sweetness a little bit more for you.
Good.
We're going to shake that up. This is a very easy recipe.
And these cocktails will be available the night of Halloween?
They will be available.
Good.
We're going to pour that into our glass. Now, the glass has regular ice as well as dry ice in there.
Aha,
okay?
there
Which gives
we
it
go.
that
Ooh,
effect.
look it.
And then
Spooky.
lastly, we're going to top it off with cranberry vodka.
Oh, man.
There you go.
I love it.
That is your Bloody Goblin.
I love that. So if somebody wanted to make a non-alcoholic drink, they could basically just use different juices,
Absolutely.
right?
Cranberry
and still use that
juice,
dry
you can
ice.
yeah, absolutely.
How fun is this? Now,
Very
over
nice.
at the Table Creek side, I know that you'll be pairing some of these fun cocktails, spooky cocktails, with your happy hour.
We
Tell
are.
us very briefly about your happy hour.
Happy hour, we have $5 tapas, we have Kobe beef sliders, we have bacon jam flatbread, and sea bass fritters, as you can see here. They're all fantastic. We have an array of happy hour cocktails.
That part isn't spooky at all. Matt, you always bring it, but go nowhere because the goblins are coming out. We have another spooky cocktail in just a few minutes.
The agents at SWC would like to show you pictures of all the homes that they've sold quickly for their clients. But they're just too many to show. Contact SWC today and find out for yourself. We just market your home better.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 1-800-565-7740. That's 1-800-565-7740.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Your home is the largest investment you have. So when you're looking for furniture, window treatments, and accessories, from America's top brands like Henrigon, American Leather, and Hunter Douglas, the only place you need to go is Bacon's. Quality, service, price. Bacon's Furniture and Design, Sarasota.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. I'm Don Brennan in for Scott Dennis today. And officials from British Airways say they have no explanation as to how members of the crew on a super jumbo jet became ill, but not the passengers. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez has the story.
A still unexplained scare on a British Airways flight, diverted after the crew of this jumbo jet became sick, but not the passengers.
Can you say again the emergency for me, please?
What's with fumes, toxic gas type fumes?
The double-decker plane with more than 400 passengers on board was heading from San Francisco to London yesterday when an emergency was declared. One traveler telling ABC News 3 crew members passed out, though British Airways says there's no evidence of that.
We could have done a complete U-turn, and I was just like, what's going on here?
The pilots announcing they would have to land, deciding to bypass nearby airports to head to Vancouver, which is better equipped to handle the big jumbo jet.
People started panicking. There's a woman in the seat next to us who was crying.
Once on the ground, you see firefighters walking through inspecting the plane. Though 11 crew members reported being sick, all 25 were hospitalized as a precaution.
Sometimes these things are very difficult because maybe one person smells something, maybe they react one way, maybe you can't pin down that fume. Maybe it was something coming from the cargo hold that was just momentary.
Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, New York.
New at noon in France, a makeshift migrant camp erupts in flames. No injuries were reported, but authorities did say that migrants started the fire. It's a tradition for them to burn their shelters before leaving them. At least 4,000 migrants left the camp. They'll be relocated to other parts of Europe. And here in the States, surveillance video is released of a woman robbing and shooting 3 people in Miami over the weekend. We first told you about this story Monday morning. You see the video showing the woman dressed in white running up behind the group. The victims toss their phones and wallets to the ground, but the suspect opens fire anyway. They scatter and run, but all 3 victims were hit by the flying bullets.
Over the property, and the female offender still shot them.
Police say the shooter fired 8 rounds in total. She even picked up their belongings. One of the victims, just a 12-year-old boy. All 3 are expected to recover. And a lottery scam to warn you about, as the Florida Lottery has been notified of an advance fee scam involving Mega Millions. People are being told they won a prize but must wire transfer thousands of dollars to a scammer in order to secure their prize. Right there, it should seem suspicious to you. They're also receiving notices that look like they are from the FBI or the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Florida Lottery says players will never be required to transfer their own funds to secure their winnings. And it's going to take a very long time for women to start earning just as much as men, and we're not talking about decades. According to a report by the World Economic Forum, it'll take about 170 years for that gender gap to be closed. This includes gaps in education, health, economic opportunity, and also political power. Although women are going to college more than ever, the progress is still slow. No country has fully closed the overall gender gap just yet, but the top 5 that are close: Iceland, Finland, Norway, Sweden, and Rwanda. The United States was nowhere near the top, ranking 45th on that list, but Hillary Clinton trying to buck that trend by running for president, John.
That's sad.
That is really sad.
I hate seeing that.
I think women are every bit as equal as men.
I like us to be at the top of the list of that sort of thing.
We should be.
Education, women's
modern company
rights.
that we are, we should be.
Got to work on that. Got to work on that. We have some pretty nice weather shaping up for us today. Sunshine, some very pleasant humidities, nice breeze out there. That feels great. And just a little bit of high cloudiness from time to time, kind of passing on by, and then 1 or 2 mid-level clouds. But no rain in the forecast for us today. Titan radar absolutely free and clear of any kind of an echo. Today we will be warm. We'll get up there to about 86 degrees for a daytime high, I think. But that breeze, that's going to make it feel so very comfortable out there. Over the next several days, we might have some changes. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few. Don?
Thank you, John. New at noon, the area surrounding downtown Tampa will soon be a lot more busy and more beautiful because plans are in the making to develop Tampa's riverfront property. It'll include new residences, a hotel, offices, and retail space. 3 buildings called the Lafayette Plaza will bring in a total of $1.7 million alone. A sky bridge would also connect 2 towers closest to the Hillsborough River and expand Tampa's very popular Riverwalk. Also in Tampa, Google is changing plans to bring high-speed internet there. The company is halting operations and laying off staff in several cities where it was trying to install new fiber optic cables. Now, the decision comes after a tech executive with Google Fiber stepped down from the job. Google, however, or Google Fiber, will continue operating where it is already in service. And airports in California are getting a bit more high-tech on how they serve their passengers. One of them is in San Jose, where you'll find robots. Meet Norma, Piper, and Amelia. The airport unveiled the triplets yesterday. Each one is equipped with a large touchscreen that gives passengers access to information about the terminal, like where to find the bathroom or get the best cup of coffee or cheeseburger.
What they will do is both engage, entertain, as well as assist travelers with all the many services that we offer here in the terminals to make their travel through here much more enjoyable.
Now, the robots also communicate in 6 different languages. And let's head back over to the kitchen and see how drinks are going with ABC7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher and Matt from the Table Creekside.
Donnie, it's getting spookier by the minute. Matt, what are we going to make now?
We're going to make a witch's brew now.
Okay, let's
witch's
do
brew
it.
Is pretty simple, but we do a couple other things. We have an infused, I shouldn't say infused. We have a ice sphere that has certain kind of like Halloween things
I
in
love
there.
it, like an eyeball, or is this a skeleton?
Skull,
Oh, that's so cool. And you know,
Nice.
you can buy those ice ball infusers at one of the gourmet kitchen stores. So that makes it really
Isn't
fun.
that fun?
I like it a lot.
Our drink, we have house infused grape vodka.
And when you say house infused, so you're taking the vodka and you're taking the grapes and you're letting it sit
3 days.
3 days in a cool, dark place.
That's right.
So you can make it at home.
That's right.
Okay.
So we're going to take about 1.5 ounces of this. All right. And then we're going to take a little bit of fresh lime juice.
And I love that everything's fresh. That makes
Freshly
a difference
squeezed
in the cocktail.
every morning. Sour. And then a little bit of grape juice for a little added color.
I like it. Grape. And could you use pomegranate?
You can.
Okay.
We were actually going to use pomegranate. We decided to do grape instead. And then finally, we're going to add some petal dust. Now, petal dust is something that bakers use. It's decorating.
Okay.
But what it does here is it actually gives it a little bit of a shimmer. So you're going to mix it up. And then you can see a little bit of shimmer in there, and it falls. And then you're going to place it right into your glass.
Oh, this is so
And
cool.
there is your witch's brew. Pretty awesome, right?
Yeah, I think Donnie and I are headed for those in just a minute. Now, aside from you'll have these cocktails on Halloween, this year, for the first time, you're going to be opening on Thanksgiving. And I had the great fortune of coming to a pre-tasting, and it was one of the best meals I've ever had. So tell us the hours of operation
We are
for
open at
Thanksgiving.
the table from 11 to 8 p.m.
Great.
on Thanksgiving. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be primarily Thanksgiving menu. But as you already know, it's going to be fantastic.
Let me just say, I loved it. And you're going to love these great cocktails too. Really fun tips for everybody. And I love that we can still make them non-alcoholic if we want
absolutely.
to. Come back and we'll wrap it up with Matt from the Table Creek side for our spooky Halloween at the bar.
Shop GoWildHonda.com. Lease a new Fit for $149 or Civic just $169 with no down payment. That's GoWildHonda.com or visit Wild Honda Sarasota. It's gotta be wild.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.
Come experience the precision, performance, and power of the Ram 1500 during Ram Power Days at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Built tough enough to help you conquer whatever the day may throw your way with all the comfort, gizmos, and gadgets you'd find in a luxury vehicle. And right now, get over 20% off. That's up to $15,000 off a new Ram 1500. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Just because someone grows older, does that mean they have to grow apart from their friends or from the things they love to do? With Right at Home, it doesn't. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to help with personal care, housekeeping, meals, and most of all, staying engaged in life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I sure am.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Shop GoWildHonda.com. Lease a new Accord or CRV for $179 with no down payment. Your choice, just $179. That's GoWildHonda.com or visit Wild Honda Sarasota. It's gotta be wild.
So currently we're looking at an air temperature that's warm at 84 degrees. A lot of sunshine out there, and we have a dew point value of 60. Very comfortable. You know, we have a frontal boundary that's trying to work its way south. It's kind of far away from us. It's out in the Atlantic and kind of dissipating and falling apart as it sinks south. But we do have a pretty strong wind out of the east and northeast with some gusts as high as 20, 25 miles an hour at times. And that is helping to draw down some slightly drier air over the next 24 hours. We had some moisture air. We had air with more moisture in it kind of move into the area. So we're going to kind of ride the moisture roller coaster, if you will, for the next day or so. We have currently across the region 81 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, Mayaca, Parrish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, Northport. You get the picture. Kind of uniform temperatures due to the fact that those winds are mixing things up, stirring things up, not allowing any cold pockets to puddle at the surface, but keeping everything fairly uniform. 82 degrees in Venice, 80 in Inglewood. We do have one cooler temperature of 79 at Longboat Key, 84 degrees in Sarasota. Some high, thin clouds streaming across the southern tip of the state. That's where the moisture is highest. And you can see the effects of those lower level winds with that long fetch over Atlantic waters with this line of clouds and a few showers that are closing in on the East Coast. I think the East Coast probably has the best chance of seeing any rainfall in the state of Florida. And it won't be much. It'll be just a sprinkle or two because the air is just so dry across the state of Florida that you can't support a lot of showers. Certainly locally, nothing popping up on radar. Back to the west, again, the frontal boundary, a second frontal boundary. That'll probably arrive here on Saturday. And again, it too will just kind of limp through here. It's not going to lower our temperatures a great deal. It'll just reinforce the kind of drier air that's in place, making it comfortable for, I think, Halloween. It's producing some pretty chilly air, though, up and around the Chicago area, back through Cleveland today. Temperatures in the 40s. Cold rain, dreary skies, that kind of thing for Game 2 tonight. We're watching. You can see the effect of that frontal boundary as we watch that kind of front sinking south, drier air in place at upper levels of the atmosphere. That's one of the reasons we have such beautiful blue skies out there over a large part of the state of Florida. As that high pressure ridge sinks south, as this frontal boundary falls apart, we get kind of a tight pressure gradient, a squeeze play, if you will, in the atmosphere that produces these strong wind patterns, wind flows across the Atlantic waters. And as I said, we might pick up a shower or two down to the south today. Maybe one or two showers into Hardee and DeSoto County. Probably not, but maybe. We'll look for mostly sunny conditions, warmer, breezy today. Again, those wind gusts pretty high, and area waters are going to see that small craft advisory today and tomorrow too. Our rainfall futurecast shows those clouds moving in. Not much in the way of rainfall along the coastline. Some bigger storms down to the south perhaps, or bigger rain showers I should say, over the course of the next couple of days because of that strong easterly wind flow and the actually narrower width of the peninsula down to the south. They might see a few showers actually work their way across. Otherwise, I think we're in for a couple of very pretty days, breezy days though. If you're looking for thunderstorms, you got to go west. Oklahoma may see a few. Dallas may see a few stronger storms around, but most of the deep south is going to be rain-free. Certainly most of the Florida Peninsula, I don't think is going to see any thunderstorm activity at all. Take a look at some of these data buoy values, and you can see we have some pretty good gusts out here and sustained winds as well. Got some 6-foot waves being reported far offshore. So boaters, remember that the further offshore you go, 20 miles or so, seas are going to get kind of rough out there. 15 to 20 knot winds. That'll bring you a moderate chop. Small craft advisories in effect today and likely tomorrow as well. And the extended range forecast calls for some very comfortable temperatures. And so far, Halloween looks to be dry and kind of pretty. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, John. Sarasota County Commissioners will meet with the Longboat Key Town Commission today to go over several issues impacting Longboat Key. The commissioners are expected to discuss the Barrier Island traffic study, New Pass beach renourishment, and also to update the Bayfront Park and public transit planning, among other projects. The meeting is open to the public and it begins at 1:30 this afternoon at the Sarasota County Administration Center on Ringling Boulevard. Here on the Suncoast, Halloween celebrations are getting started a little early. In Bradenton, there's a Halloween Zumba party. Anyone interested is encouraged to dress in their best costume, but also bring comfortable shoes, because even though you'll be dancing and exercising, in a costume, you do want to be able to wear shoes that will help the workout. The party starts at 7 o'clock tonight at GT Bray Park. The ticket cost for the Zumba is $8. And runners in Punta Gorda will be lacing up their sneakers tonight for a Halloween run. It starts at the Foot Landing on Herald Court at 6 o'clock this evening. Strollers, walkers, and runners are all welcome to participate. Registration for the run is free. And many times people come to the Suncoast to retire, maybe discover a second career that they're passionate about. ABC 7's Linda Carson introduces us to one such lady in today's Amazing Suncoast Woman.
Judy Perky grew up in New Jersey and worked at the famous Still Pier.
I had one opportunity to do the diving horse one day, and I dove on the horse and did it.
Then she was off to college.
I actually went to pre-med, and I got married at the time, the first marriage, and had kids, and became a nurse, and then went into radiotherapy as a technician.
She started studying pottery, but life intervened.
I ended up in New York building brownstones, renovating brownstones. And then I lived all over the world trying to, or doing oceanariums. Now, that was through a husband, my husband.
Her interest in art grew, and eventually she moved to Florida.
And bought a place on Siesta Key and renovated that, and then another one and another one.
When the real estate downturn came, she turned back to her pottery.
I think it's the ultimate expression of my life.
She has a studio where she works and teaches.
I make everything from pots that are inscribed or beautifully done to very amorphic types of pieces that have both, that can be both for outdoors and indoors.
Here's a quick sample of her work.
And the fish are not anything like any fish that you've ever seen.
No, they aren't.
And then this here was an example of trying to make something that looked not real, but real enough. In other words, you know that that's a horse.
Yes.
Okay. Down here is more a feeling of what happens when the sea gets very rough.
And after being divorced for 25 years, Judy recently met her Prince Charming. And her life lesson?
I've learned to go for it. Not only did I just recently get married, but I just finished with radiation for breast cancer. And all of that just tells me that life is better and more precious, and that while we're well and while we're there, take advantage of everything.
This is one of Judy's latest creations. She and her partner made it especially for the home that she's remodeling right on the sea, where she'll live with her new husband. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Linda. Now, a beautiful piece of bayfront property in Sarasota that's lain dormant for years is maybe looking at new plans to open a women's sports museum, which obviously be focused on women. A nonprofit organization has their eyes on the site of the former Gee Whiz Science Museum for the new Women's Museum. Some feel it's a perfect fit, but City Commissioner Susan Chapman thinks it's a bad idea.
It's a bunch of self-appointeds who are coming out and trying to get free city land and some of our most valuable land.
I think any time that you can preserve the history of any sport, it's important, especially for those who have passed on, to be able to keep their legacies alive.
That was Leah Secondo, a former ABC 7 employee here in the sports department. Now, if the bayfront property does not work out, organizers are looking at other locations for the museum. Up next, we'll wrap up in the kitchen with Chef Judy and Matt from the Table Creek side, and also an 80s classic is splashing back on in the big screen. Details coming up next in entertainment.
If you're trying to balance caring for your mother and being a mother to your children, we can help. It's what we do. Call Granny Nannies today.
A helping hand and a gentle heart. There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Your home is the largest investment you have. So when you're looking for furniture, window treatments, and accessories, from America's top brands like Henredon, American Leather, and Hunter Douglas, the only place you need to go is Bacon's. Quality, service, price. Bacon's Furniture and Design, Sarasota.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
My dad is my hero, and I wanted to give him a chance to live life and be happy. Granny Nannies has been a huge help. It has contributed to the health and happiness of my dad, for sure.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
And welcome back, Matt from the Table Creek side. You've brought it again with some spooky cocktail ideas. Walk us through what you did with the ice, because this is a really cute idea.
So what we did was we bought some Halloween trinkets, and we just infused it with infused ice.
You love saying the word
I love
infused.
infused.
But you put it in the ice.
In the ice sphere, in the mold,
Yep.
and then you just let it sit for a few hours, and then there you go. And it comes out
when
like
I was a
that.
kid, we used to think it was really cool just to put spaghetti or peeled grapes in a bowl and make people shut their eyes. Now we've like glammed it up,
Right,
so
there
you
you
have
go.
all these spooky cocktails.
Absolutely.
Really cool. And you mentioned that you were using some dry ice.
Yes.
And that really brings up
It
that.
does. It makes it all smoky and foggy. And now you have to realize that you can't ingest dry ice, so you have to let it go.
Let it kind of go,
yep,
and then
you're good to
you
go.
can. But
Yep.
these are really fun cocktails. And if you want to learn how to make these cocktails, you can go on mysuncoast.com, click on the recipes, and we'll have the recipes up there by about 24 hours. And you can just make this along, or even better, go to the Table Creek side
Please
for
do.
an early treat before you pass out your candy. Thanks so
Thank you
much,
very much. I
Matt.
appreciate
Always
it.
great to see you. Back to you guys.
Thank you both. Now, great baby news for singer Sierra. She and Seahawks star quarterback Russell Wilson are expecting. It'll be the couple's first child together. They announced the pregnancy last night by posting the same photo here, as you see, that was on Instagram. You see it here. The caption, excited to finally share one of the greatest gifts of all that God could give. The pregnancy comes 3 months after the lovebirds tied the knot. And Glenn Close, returning to a classic role. She'll be starring in a Broadway revival of the musical Sunset Boulevard. She'll once again play fated silent film star Norma Desmond. She won a Tony Award for that same role 21 years ago. The show starts next February. Just called the country version of American Idol, the 2016 Nash Next champion is crowned last night in Nashville. Louisiana native Todd O'Neill was the big winner of the night. Nash Next, he wins a recording contract with Big Machine Records and a $5,000 prize.
When they said Todd, that was enough. I was standing right here and I literally dropped to my knees.
Producers hope to have Todd's debut single out by early next year. And finally, it's official. A remake of the movie Splash is being developed. This 1984 romantic comedy starred Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah. It's about a guy who's saved from drowning by a mermaid, and he falls in love with her. Directors are looking at Channing Tatum to revamp Hanks' starring role, and it seems Hanks is all for it.
That's fine. Look, I think if they were really going to be bold, I would come back as Alan Bauer, and I would go off with Channing Tatum. That would be a bold movie.
The Splash remake comes amid a rush of remakes and reboots of popular older movies, which makes me feel really old because I don't feel like they're really older movies. And this summer's Ghostbusters, obviously, and also in development, an all-women's Ocean's 11. Now, Ocean's 11 just came out. They're already doing a remake.
I know. What are you going to do? I love Splash, though. What
I
a great
loved
movie,
Splash.
right?
I thought it was adorable. And
Yeah.
guess what? The Rocky Horror Picture Show is showing in various places this weekend. There's a flashback from my college years.
You're not kidding. Have they remade that yet? You'd think they would have remade that.
I think the classic can never be redone.
Oh, well, thank you, Judy. And
Thank
you,
you.
Table Creekside. John, as always. And go Indians. Game is at 7 o'clock tonight,
Hey.
not 8 o'clock.
Go
Wow.
Cubbies.
John's
Go
from
Indians.
Cleveland.
Go Indians.
Have a great afternoon, everybody. More news at 5.
You might feel like there's too many problems in the world, or that, you as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old can't really make a difference.
It's not always about you. It's not just one person. It's a group. It's a team.
Just that simple act is transforming someone else's life.
It's one of the best feelings in the world.
It'll just make you feel so good about yourself.
I'd do anything to convince you just to be a part of this.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Batteries Plus bulbs keep stacks of batteries for cars, cell phones, watches, plus light bulbs for lamps, can lights, and appliances right on hand. Did I mention we also repair smartphones? Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus bulbs today.
And a popular Venice business is supporting the fight against breast cancer. Tervis Tumbler is collaborating with the American Cancer Society to create exclusive artwork with the handprints of cancer patients and their families. The design is to represent the lives of people touched by cancer and the hands that they comfort. The art will be sold at Tervis. 10% of those sales will go towards the American Cancer Society.